It's official. Snuggly season is definitely on the way in Lancashire. So this week I've been sewing the Snuggly balloon cardigan and also made a pair of beautiful culottes in some yummy needle cord. So let's have a chat about Snuggly sewing. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. Yes, this week has been a bit of a snuggly week here and I made a start on the balloon cardigan that was meant to be my make for this week. I have started it, but oops, I've not finished it. And there's a really good reason why. I had to put it on the back burner because as an ambassador for the Weekend Sewing Club from My Handmade Wardrobe, I had a pair of culottes that I had to make up and get the results and the photos done by today. So the cardigan got started and put on the back burner, but the culottes have been made up. So let's start with the balloon cardigan. I'll pop some images up here of what it should look like when it's finished, but it ain't finished. But we'll go through what I've done so far. So I've sewn the shoulder seams together and I've used a clever trick on my overlocker and used some twill tape to stabilise the shoulder seams and put the front plackets on, put the neckband on and the hem or cuff on. So, famous last words, I've just got to put the sleeves in, sleeve cuffs, and do the buttons or press studs as I want to use. Now I haven't got them, but I want some rose gold or maybe copper press studs, and I'm going to get some of those ordered so that I can get this finished this week and then show you the finished garment next Monday. So that was my first attempt at making something this week. Started, not finished. Becoming a bit of a theme this at the moment, isn't it? Starting and not finishing something, but I am going to get that finished this week. So this is the reason why I didn't get the balloon cardigan finished, because I had these beauts to make up. Look at that fabric. Absolutely love this needle cord. I got it from Beckett and Adele's The Fabric Obsession when I went to Adele's social back in August. And I've been humming and hawing what to make up with this lovely super soft. It's a poppy needle cord. And if they have still got some in their shop, I will pop the link below. So these are the sachet culottes. And they look rather splendid on. I'll pop a little image of me there swishing around in my sachets and talk about what I did to make them, or alterations, because when you're 5 foot there's always alterations. So these culottes, I made the facings I cut out first. Now according to the pattern sizing I should have been a size 4. So I cut the waistband facings out as a size 4 and just sewed them together, put them around my waist to see how they fit, and it was huge. It was a good 4 inches bigger than I wanted it to be. So, oh my God, I was so glad that I'd done that, because these would have buried me otherwise. So I bit the bullet and I downsized by 2 full sizes and I made up a size 2. And there's still a little bit of room in the waist, I've got to be honest, but they are going to be perfectly wearable for the winter, because as we all know, when the cooler weather comes, well, me anyway, I start eating more naughty food. So my waistline will expand a bit in the winter. The version I made has got patch pockets on the front. Not sure if you can see them with all that busy print. They're there though, honestly. And I've never made anything with patch pockets on the front for, probably since the 90s. So I bit the bullet and I've done the pockets on the front. The jury is still out whether I'm comfortable with the pockets on the front. I'm going to wear them a few times, and if they mess with my head too much, I can always take them off and put them on the back, or just not bother with pockets. It has a side invisible zip. There is, you can just about see that little tag, but the invisible zip came out really well, very invisible. And then I've put some lilac bias binding on the facing on the inside. You can just overlock it, but I decided to use some nice binding that had. So there they are, as I said, size 2. I took a whopping 8 inches out of the crotch. I know, you can imagine how big these would have been on me. I would have looked like a clown. So I took 8 inches out of the crotch in the length, front and back. And I took 8 inches out of the leg length as well. And they're still coming out as a longer culotte. They're not ankle length, they're halfway between 3/4 and ankle length, if that makes sense. And that was the length I was aiming for, because I want to wear these with ankle boots without having a huge gap between the bottom of my trousers, my culottes and my boots. So I went a bit longer than the pattern recommends. So those culottes are the October pattern for the weekend sewing club run by Sarah at My Handmade Wardrobe. And if you want to get your hands on that lovely culotte pattern, then you can join My Handmade Wardrobe Weekend Sewing Club up until close of play tomorrow. She does a window of about 10 days towards the end of the month, each month, for new members. And if you miss that window, you're not going to be able to join for another 4 weeks. So if you were thinking of joining the Weekend Sewing Club, then I've got a sneaky voucher code that you can use. It's in the details below, together with the link to where to join. And the Weekend Sewing Club is normally £15 a month, but if you join tomorrow and use my voucher code, you can get it for a sneaky £9 for your first month. So that's a really generous £6 discount off your first monthly subscription for a sewing club which is aimed at making garments that you can whiz up in a few hours over the weekend. So great for people who haven't got a lot of time to sew, for beginner sewers who don't want something too daunting to sew up. And yeah, just some really nice cohesive capsule garments that will help your wardrobe to grow and work. There's also a monthly virtual social where you can all sew them together and get hints and tips from Sarah, ask any questions in the Facebook group that she runs as well. So a really hand-holding sewing club at a really cost-effective and value for money price, which there's not a lot of it about these days, is there? So click on that link, join the Weekend Sewing Club, and I'll see you at the next Sew Along Virtual. So that's my sewing all done from last week. So what am I doing this week? Well as sewing, I've got a little sneaky trip planned up to FABWORKS in Dewsbury. I'm going with Steph, and Carol's coming with us, who comes to me for sewing lessons. She's making the Nage Libra jacket and she needs some lining fabric for it. And FABWORKS have some fabulous lining fabrics. So we're definitely going to find something there for Carol. And I also need some lining fabric because I've got another cape or cloak as they're calling it that I want to make up, and I've no lining for it. Just let me get the fabric that I want to make it up in. Here it is. This is a beautiful 100% wool fabric that I got from Rosenberg's at the Festival of Quilts, and I want to make up the NUALA cloak from Coralie BIJASSON. I'll pop some pics up here as I'm talking. Yeah, it's not a cape and it's not a coat, so we're calling it a cloak. It's got a normal fitted coat body, but it's got big wide sleeves on to give it that cape or cloak effect, if you like. It's double breasted, it's got a high collar at the front, and it's got a little belt, half belt on the back to bring it together. And then either full length or 3/4 floaty capey style sleeves. So I want to make it in this fabric that I got from Rosenberg's. So I need to find some stunning lining to go inside this, and I will update you all next Monday if I've actually managed to get some from FABWORKS. I've had a quick look online, and I've narrowed it down to about 2 or 3 that I think will work, but I need to do it in the flesh so that I don't end up ordering something and it's not the colour that I thought it was. So we're doing a little road trip. It's just over an hour's drive away from us. So, you know, day trip kind of distance, isn't it? So that's what we're doing on Friday. So because we're going to FABWORKS, I had a little look online to try and plan what I'm buying. And I've got a short list of 3 things that I want to have a look at, not necessarily buy, but look at FABWORKS. One is the lining fabric for my cloak. Number 2 is to have a good look at their house linens. Now, these are repurposed linen fabrics that's been re-dyed into some amazing shades. They'll be popping up here as I speak. And they've got some in a nice gold colour, and I'm hoping to get some house linen that goes with the goldy mustard colour in these culottes. And then I want to make a shirt style blouse to go with them for the autumn and winter. So I'll be looking at the house linens as well. And then the third thing is a little bit of a luxury splurge for me. So I've not ordered it online because of the amount of money. I think it's about £30 a metre, this fabric. So yes, not on the cheap side, but I've been ogling it for months and just not bit the bullet. 1, because of the price, and 2, because when something's that expensive, I want the touchy feel it. I need to go and see it in person. So I'm going to look at their LAMBSWOOL mohair boucle fabric. There'll be an image scrolling here of the different ones that they do. They've got quite a few colours of that still left, and when it's gone, it's gone. So I'm feeling the pressure that I need some in my life. And depending on the weight of it, whether I make, in my head, I want to make a shacket in it so that it can be worn indoors, outdoors, multi-purpose, and get my VFM from it. But it depends on the weight of the fabric. So we'll see. If it's lighter weight than I think, then it will be obviously more of a cardigan. If it's heavy, then maybe it will be a jacket. So I want some of their mohair LAMBSWOOL boucle. Not sure what I'm going to make with it. Depends on the weight of the fabric and what it feels like. So they're my 3 purposeful purchases that I'm hoping to get from FABWORKS and try and stick to it. But you know what I'm like, I'll come back with something totally different, but you'll find out next Monday. So we're going to FABWORKS, girly day out, cannot wait. So The NUALA coat is not going to get made this week because I'm still working my way through my Barcelona makes. I know, it's going on forever. But I've bitten the bullet now and I've decided I'm doing the balloon cardigan, and then I've just got one more garment that I want to make. I was going to also make the Atlas trousers in some beautiful olive lyocell. Will still make those, and I might still make them for Barcelona, but I'm not putting myself under the pressure. I've got lots of trousers I can take with me. So yeah, if something's going to give, it's going to be the Atlas pants, let's be honest. But I am going to make the FISTERRA dress from itch to stitch. And I do want to make it in this beautiful viscose twill that I got from the Stitch Festival, that I got from Festival of Quilts, and it was bought from Higgs and Higgs. It's got pinks and greens in it. Absolutely love it. It's the one that you all voted for, so it would be rude of me not to get it made up, wouldn't it? So this is gonna be cut out, made a start on this week. I'm waiting for the pattern to come back from pattern printing, so that's going to dictate how much of it I get done, but the balloon cardigan is definitely being made. So there we go, another fun week of sewing ahead. And once I've made the FISTERRA dress, I'm then going to really go full on snuggle sewing and get all my knits made up. I've got a sweatshirt and jog bottoms, I've got some polar fleece that I want to make up into a snuggly jacket, loads of plans. So that's going to start after Barcelona. So let me know what you're up to this week. Have you started your autumn winter sewing? Have you been naughty and purchasing fabrics this week? I will see you all on Thursday when we're going to be talking about 10 knit dresses that are suitable for the autumn and winter. So if you're after some dress inspiration, keep your eyes peeled on Thursday, and I will see you again on Monday with an update of all the shenanigans at FABWORKS and up in Dewsbury. So take care, happy sewing, and I will see you all soon. Bye.